Wow, it's been a couple of days since I've booted up the old camera. Bear with me. Sorry, I'm just gonna wipe this off. But yeah, it's gonna be a little grainy. There you go. But I told y'all from the beginning of this channel that I was gonna be real and honest with y'all, and that doesn't exempt today at all. I told y'all things weren't always pretty, things weren't always sweet, things weren't always perfect, and I gotta be a man of my word and steward that. I ask God to guide me. I don't profess myself as a teacher of anything. I just try and use my experiences to try and help people find their way. And I've seen a lot of events recently. I've been through a lot of things recently, and I'm at my own state, kind of where I question a lot of things too. And some part of me wants to be like old man yells at sky. You know what I'm saying? Like Timmy Turner, his father is the neighbor Dinkelberg. Whenever he's like Dinkelberg, you know what I'm saying? That's sometimes how I want to feel like when I'm like God, but and it's valid. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't say that you can't have those feelings. I'm just not gonna be a person who tries to say this is all God's fault and to condemn God and say all these things. Like I'm sick right now. I haven't been sick in a year, and it could have been very easy for me to be like, I'm sick. I'm going through all these persecutions and all these things now after I decided to pick up my cross and walk with God more. I'm going through all these things. So obviously this means I should just abandon God and go back to what I was doing. And I won't lie, I'm saying for a moment, I did, in a sense. I gave back into lust for 1 second and quickly snapped out of it because I was just like, after everything was said and done, I was like, I gained nothing from this. This changed nothing about me. If anything, this made me just see how bad the whole industry is, and reminds me not to condemn the people who are in it because there are multiple reasons as to why those kind of industries succeed, in a sense. And this year has been full of trial and tribulations, right? And I'd be a terrible human being if I don't show you the bad sides of this walk and of this journey toward being a successful individual. Not a person of success, but a successful individual. I've said that multiple times on my channel where I've talked about wanting to be, or telling people to think of themselves as successful and not as a success. But very few times do I feel like I generally just sit on here, no script, no nothing, and just talk. You know, I've been going through a lot. I've been dealing with a lot. And I feel like I'm in a season of change, and I feel like I'm in a season of where I'm constantly being isolated to then be broken down by whatever powerful forces are in front, powerful evil forces to try and break me down into doing things that I don't want to do, and I already proclaimed I won't. But you get me so tired and frustrated and irritated that I'm not thinking rationally and I give in. And I feel like a lot of us struggle with that. And that's something that I don't have all the answers for, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I do. But it's something that I'm willing to take initiative on and say that, yo, this is a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the issue. Not that millions of people who haven't already said that, but I'm willing to be one to say it in my life that, yo, this is an issue. This is the trap. You know what I'm saying? I forgot which verse it was. I don't ever want to preach something false. So, but it basically was saying he's not saying isn't gonna get you when you're at your highest point. He's actually gonna get you when you're at your lowest. He's gonna wait for you just until you hit your lowest point, and then when you're tired, you're broken down already. He's gonna get you, and he's gonna tempt you over and over again. And so far on this journey, the thing that I come back to over and over and over is a simple question, or not a simple statement of letting God be your rock, because that is the only way you'll get through these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired, bro. I'm exhausted. You know, I had to level with y'all. I had a job I was supposed to be starting today, and I haven't been sick for a year, and all of a sudden I'm sick. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show, it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? I want to know why. You know, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know why, because I don't know why. And you know, I haven't been sick all this time, but now I choose. Now it's like, let's get sick. Let's get sick, Ahmad. Yeah, let's get sick, bro. That's the best time to get sick. Yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to make light of a situation that really makes me annoyed and uncomfortable at times, because it's just like I have so many uncomfortable questions. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through so many things, and I'm seeing things to other people, and it's like I'm trying to work on the right ways to say things. And sometimes the right way to say something is not say something at all in that moment, because I never want to get on here acting like I know everything, because I truly don't. I'm only 20, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still got a long way to go. And I'm still trying to figure out so many things. And so it's a certain messages or certain topics is like, I just avoid, not to try and say everything sweet, because I try and say everything is nuanced. There's going to be bad and good. But what I'm saying is, I don't want to talk about certain things until I have the knowledge and, God has worked through me more. You know what I'm saying? So I could come at it through compassion but truthful ways of communicating it. And I don't ever want to act like or think of myself as holier than thou, because I'm, bro, what? Holier than thou? Are we serious? How do people even get to a point where they act like they're better than you, or they're more holier than you because they believe in God? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what turned me away from Christianity initially, because people have this like God complex because they were talking to God, so they think they're God themselves in a sense, or they're godlier than you because they worship God. When it's just like you go to church every day, you read your hymns, you read your Bible, and all these things, so you think you're better than someone, which is such a discertained way of looking at God. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so disrespectful to who God truly is and everything He is. I don't want to be like a preacher preaching about being really preachy and stuff, but I say that to say all this. I'm gonna show y'all when I'm going through things and when I'm uncertain about things. I haven't recorded a video in like 9 days. I probably have some backlog videos, if I'm being honest. I probably do have some backlog videos. I've just been so tapped out. I've been going through a lot, and I'm not gonna act like I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna pick myself back up and get back to uploading, because I actually really did love making videos, making music, working on different endeavors and things for the future, and just being close to God again. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose, especially that last part. I don't want to lose that at all. Especially because I'm so new to being fully dedicated, so I'm still trying to figure out a lot of things. I'm still trying to find the right people to be around when it comes to things like this. So, yeah, you know, I don't know when I'm gonna title this video. By the time y'all see this, I'm just gonna post it. No hashtags, no nothing. And if anyone sees it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. I could really care less. It's just to document and just to acknowledge and show people, whoever does find this channel, that I go through the ringer too. I'm just like y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going through sunshine and rainbows every single day, bro. I try to preach the opposite. I try to say the opposite, but I try to say, I do not go through the best situations all the time, but I still have my faith. You know what I'm saying? That's something that hasn't left me somehow, even through all the things where I was questioning God. I still had faith that He existed. I knew He existed. I just didn't want to fully accept Christianity because of everything that I had been through in my life, and maybe that everything I had been through in my life can be a story for another day, right? But for now, welcome back to the Mino. I'm working on a bunch of things. I'm not working. I'm starting to work on a bunch of things again, and I hope to be able to get back to the videos again and upgrade the qualities and all these novelties that allow for a better representation of what I'm trying to do with this channel. I had an idea that I was working on. I stopped abruptly, and being sick has allowed me to remind myself of that. So I have a lot of things I got to work on. This summer feels like, at points, feels like such a waste, but it also feels like really insightful. School starts next month, and I feel even less prepared than I did when I first came last semester. But at the same time, I don't. So it's weird, but this video is dragging on, so I'm gonna end it right here. I love y'all. I can't wait to get back to this. Hopefully, maybe y'all see a video tomorrow. I'm not gonna have any promises, but very soon, very very soon, I'm going to get back to it. So I'm working on it. Just bear with me. I'm still figuring things out. So, yeah, I love y'all though. Peace out.